Hey, Dan Lloyd here with another leadership lesson on location. I'm in ancient Ephesus, Turkey, standing before the theater of ancient Ephesus. This is where, in Acts chapter 16, the Apostle Paul was confronted by the city. A leadership lesson on location, and I want to emphasize today, is this: Christianity is always countercultural. Christianity is always countercultural. The apostle and his team came into the city sharing the good news about Jesus. And people were getting upset. People were losing money because the silversmiths were making the little idols of Artemis were losing money because people were turning away from idol worship to Jesus Christ. And the city was getting upset about this. They were turning over the culture, changing everything in the community as the people knew it. And so the crowds started to get agitated. They began to shout, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians." In fact, it says in Acts chapter 16, the majority of the people who were shouting against the Apostle Paul didn't know what was going on. They just joined the crowds and just started shouting and screaming, not, as being completely ignorant of what was actually happening. So it says here that in the scriptures that the people shouted, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians." This theater will hold, I think, 30,000 people. They shouted for about 2 hours before the city clerk came and quieted down the crowds and said, if there's really an issue, if there's really a problem, it can be settled in the courts for now. We don't want to be accused of creating a riot because of what these men believe. So the Apostle Paul, wherever he went, he stirred things up, not intentionally. That wasn't his goal. His goal was to be faithful to the gospel. And the gospel is going to transform lives and transform lives, translates to transform cultures. And sometimes people embrace transformation, sometimes they don't. But the point I want to emphasize here in Ephesus, the leadership lesson on location, is Christianity is always countercultural. There's not something different about your ministry that's different than the world. You need to think it through. I would challenge you to just do a survey of the book of Acts, look at how the Apostle Paul exegeted not only the scriptures, but he also exegeted the culture. I'm trying to keep my focus here. A lot of people here, a lot of guides. Anyway, so the point is, Christianity is always countercultural. Dan Lloyd here, leadership lessons on location in Ephesus. Thanks for watching.